Ashley Benefield is facing a second-degree murder charge. She admitted to fatally shooting her husband, a 58-year-old Navy veteran, Doug Benefield, inside a Lakewood Ranch, Florida home in September of 2020. The trial started on July 24th, 2024. Ashley claims she shot him in self-defense. The defense is that there is a history of DV and Doug's unpredictable behavior, together with on the day of the shooting, Doug trapped her in her home. She could not leave and was in fear of her life. To give you a bit of background for the clip I'm going to play, as the trial is currently going on in Florida, USA, the relationship between them was either good at times or at other times it was toxic. And Doug had previously admitted to punching their pet dog, and Ashley, also says that he was mean to their cat. In the clip that I want to play for you, the defense attorney is questioning a witness they called forward, who is trying to say that there is a correlation to those who abuse animals and DV victims. But for some reason, the prosecutor objects to this. Here, let's have a watch.
What's the motivation for their behavior, abusers?
They want to control their partners. I find often an ownership type attitude. They want to control them.
How do they treat generally pets in the household?
Pets. So statistics have shown that abusers abuse pets well above average, more than average citizens would. And so I have two theories about that. One is that they're missing some empathy, or they tend to see things as objects. And so
object to non-responsive.
Okay. Can I explain why they abuse pets?
Yes.
So if a pet belong to the female or their partner, the victim.
Sure, I'm going to object.
Can you approach, please?
Well, the prosecutor surely does not want to hear what he has to say. So what you did not get to hear is that there is a link to DV and animal abuse. And I've done a video on this. I will play a clip from my video, and if you want to watch the rest, I will leave a link in the description area below. An article in the National Centre for Domestic Violence, an organisation in the UK that highlights a very definite link to those that commit abuse to animals and those who commit domestic abuse. In one study, they found that almost 9 out of 10 households who experienced domestic abuse said that their animals were also abused by the perpetrator. And listen to this. 94% of the animals that were given as gifts, the animal was abused, which they say evidence the fact that animals are used by the perpetrator to control and coerce the victim survivor. For example, I've stopped my video there. In the Ashley Benefield trial, in my opinion, the prosecutor was inappropriate in some of the questions they asked her. Let's listen to the prosecutor.
And you say he was waving a gun around and threw a gun at you. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
So he has a gun in his hand, could point it at you.
He did point
but
it at me.
But he throws a gun at the wall.
No, he threw it at me. He missed me.
Okay. And it hit the wall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When was this? What was the date of this argument?
I believe it was the end of June.
2017?
Yes, ma'am.
When was your wedding reception?
It was shortly after that, maybe like a week or two later. I don't remember specifically.
Okay. So even though you'd been married before, you were now having a wedding reception?
Yes, when we got married, it was just the two of us.
And at this wedding reception, you had a lot of guests come?
I'd say maybe a dozen. My friends and family came.
And they're dressed up?
Yes.
You're in your wedding dress?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 10. I want you to tell me what this is. Or I'm sorry, it's 100. I want you to tell me what this is. It's going to come up behind you. What is this a picture of?
That's a picture of Kevin, Christy, me, and then Doug.
You said on direct examination that around this time you were living the nightmare. Those were your words, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you living the nightmare here?
Oh, no, not at that moment, no. That was a very nice day.
How about at this moment?
Oh, it was a good day.
And State's 102 at this moment?
Same. It was a good day.
Now, I've stopped it there because, in my opinion, this line of questioning is re-victimizing, to ask over and over if she was living the nightmare while looking at their wedding reception photos. To me, this prosecutor, in my opinion, has not been trained in DV, as the cycle of abuse goes from lows to highs and rinse and repeat. The prosecutor was trying to establish or prove that Ashley was stringing Doug along, yet Doug's own daughter confirmed that he shot a bullet in the ceiling of their home. Let's continue.
So you get pregnant and you decide to move in with your mother. So when do you decide to move in with your mother in Florida?
It was the end of August, I believe. I was really sick, and he brought me down to my mom's house and dropped me off.
Okay, but going to your mom's house was your choice, right?
We decided together. He said he couldn't take care of me. He was too busy, and that my mom could take care of me better. So I was happy to go.
And you needed someone to take care of you while you were pregnant.
I was really sick, yes.
Okay. So you moved down with your mother at maybe August of 2017, you said?
The end of August, I believe.
Okay. But there's still this issue of the injunction in South Carolina while this is going on, this South Carolina-Florida thing, correct?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, you said you applied for the South Carolina injunction, or you received the South Carolina injunction right around that time in 2017. Actually, I think you said November 2017.
Yes, a few months later.
So shortly after you moved in with your mother, a couple of months, you filed for an injunction in South Carolina.
Yes, ma'am.
And we talked about the fact that, or you talked with the defense about the fact that it was a mutual injunction.
Yes, ma'am.
So both parties agreed to stay away from each other, correct?
Yeah, I believe that it was for both parties to stay away.
No evidence was presented at this hearing.
I don't believe so.
None of your complaints were heard at this hearing.
There was like a written, like a filing.
But the judge, other than that, did not hear any evidence at the hearing.
That's correct.
All of that was forestalled because the two of you agreed, okay, fine, we will have this voluntary stay away order.
It was decided through the attorneys, but I believe that was, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the judge never found that Doug Benefield was dangerous and ordered this injunction.
I'm not sure what the judge found. I don't know what you mean by that.
There was never a court finding giving you an injunction, other than you stipulated to it.
The judge ordered it, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now, follow me here, folks, because this really upset me. Because parties are encouraged to mutually agree in order to avoid a long, drawn-out hearing. And this prosecutor is now using this against Ashley, saying a judge never found that Doug was dangerous, yet the result is the same. A restraining order was put in place, meaning Doug agreed to the stay-away order. Why was it necessary to say the judge did not order it after seeing the evidence, yet written evidence is filed with the court by way of an affidavit, meaning the person that files the affidavit could be found in contempt of court for submitting false evidence. And maybe if this was litigated, the court may have not ordered a restraining order. Who knows? But for a mutual agreement to come back and bite you, and for the prosecutor to misrepresent this, in my opinion, this is re-victimization. All the prosecutor needed to say is, Doug didn't fight you on the restraining order, did he? End it there, because we know from the evidence that came out in court, Doug admitted to hitting the dog and other bad acts. There is a report in the UK by DA Commissioner that recommended that all courts are trauma-informed to change the culture, to not re-victimize. Here in England, we do not ask the alleged victims questions like, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you call the police? As this would be re-victimizing, as many victims are scared of the repercussions from the abuser. So I'm asking, was Ashley Benefield justified at the time knowing what Doug was capable of? What's your thoughts? Have you watched this case? Do you think that the correlation that the witness wanted to say should have been objected to? Is this information that the jury should have had? Or do you think just because 94% of victims of abusers say their perpetrator abused the family pet doesn't prove Ashley Benefield had anything to fear? Especially when she alleges that he blocked her from leaving. And what if he was lunging toward her? Would this make a difference? Let's listen to the medical examiner who said Doug was shot in the right side of his chest and would not have fallen straight away. And Ashley contends after shooting him in the chest, she shot him in the leg.
You really can't say one way or another that upon being shot like that, he would have dropped immediately, that he may have continued for a couple of seconds.
Yes, that's right.
The stippling issue about gunpowder, it's from a distance of approximately, he told us, 3 feet.
Roughly, yes.
Okay, so when you exceed more than 3 feet, you would not expect to find stippling.
That's correct.
Okay, and you didn't find any stippling on his shirt?
I didn't examine his shirt.
Okay, so if somebody were backing away while they were firing and they got beyond that 3-foot range, there may not be any stippling.
That's correct.
All right.
The defense also called Michael Haag, forensic scientist, highly educated, and he was a shooting reconstructionist expert. He confirmed Doug was in motion when Ashley shot him and provided visuals.
Your responsibilities in this case to interview Ms. Benefield.
I wouldn't describe it as an interview by me. I was certainly present while she described the incident.
And with respect to her description of the incident, is there anything at all in your conclusions that was inconsistent with Ms. Benefield's description?
I can't think of anything that would necessarily be inconsistent. The key points that come to mind, where I remember her saying she stepped from her right to her left during the course of fire, that the decedent was moving rapidly in all sorts of patterns or manners, which would fit with the gunshot wounds entering the body in different angles. So from that perspective, no.
And if you're still not convinced of Ashley's account, next the defense witness called Dr. Emma Liu, a MD consulting forensic pathologist, and she performed at least 5,000 autopsies for Miami-Dade County. She explained the trajectory of the shots with visuals, which we could not see. She also confirms Ashley's account.
And observe and listen to Ms. Benefield explain the events that took place on that day.
Yes, I did. It may have been last year that I did that.
Is there anything at all with respect to your findings that is inconsistent with the explanation Ms. Benefield gave?
I believe that Mrs. Benefield's account is consistent with the evidence on the body, and I can demonstrate that.
At the time that you observed Ms. Benefield explain these events, did she know what the actual physical evidence was, the actual
Objection,
forensic
here's the
evidence?
If she can answer without speculating.
I do not know, however, usually the person doing the shooting does not know about the autopsy results, and even if they got the autopsy report, they would need someone to translate the autopsy report for them. So I doubt it, but again, I am speculating.
Were you struck by the explanation you received in light of that?
Objection relevance.
I'll sustain.
I will leave you with my video link, as one of the concerns Ashley Benefield had, and she reported it, was that their small child could be at risk when on visitations with her father, Doug. So in my video, there is good news, and I discuss some information that you may not know. Also, Ashley Benefield's trial is currently going on, and I will put an update in the description area below once the jury's verdict has been reached. By leaving a comment, you may help someone else that will read your comment. And of course, I love to read all comments as they are valued, and together we can be more informed. And this information may help you or someone you know. In the meantime, on this channel, you'll find a variety of playlists to suit every curiosity about the justice system. And we provide you with a visual to information and the process. Going through a legal worry is devastating, and the Who Knew and Why Me playlists are designed to help you or someone you know. So please like this video if you like this kind of content. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I'm going live or upload another video. I'm Karen Cole from Legal Minded Friends. Information is power, meaning if you know something, you can make decisions that are right for you.